it is Nat. We are live on this beautiful summer day, and we are going to talk about mealtime on the go thanks to our friends at Zoli. So I'm going to give everybody a minute to log on. Thank you for your patience. If you were here and waiting and like, where's Nat? Where is she? I was here. I was having some technical difficulties. As always, I have a very weird internet connection out here. But I always get it to work. And also Betty Lou is going to chime in today. What does she have to say? I don't even know what she's barking at. The dog has gone crazy. So hey guys, I want to know first of all if you've attempted to have mealtime on the go. Hi Danielle. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about today. I'm pretty stoked about it actually. I have a ton of tips that we're going to talk about. We're going to give some prizes away. As always, our mom squad is on with us too. Good afternoon, Kathy. Everybody's so official and some was so formal. Yes, so please say hi, make a friend. You know, I forgot to tell you, and I don't forget to tell you, but don't forget you should definitely make a friend. We're going to talk about that a little bit later during our live feed, giving you a little bit of the lay of the land of how this goes. So of course I am here, but I have my laptop sitting next to me, and you can see the light that I have on my face and why I am melting. So I have my laptop over here, which I am able to see some of your comments, because the good news is that your comments come up so quickly because you guys all are so excited. Then I sometimes miss your questions, and I do not want to miss your questions. So I have it over here on the side. I have it on mute. I get to see stuff. And then Julie is also on with me today. So Julie is, we call her the wizard behind the curtain of Oz, right? So she is back there and she will be shooting me any questions that come out. And yeah, that's what's going to happen. So I don't know if you guys know who Zoli is, but Zoli has been a part of the Diaz family for a very long time. I'm actually going to date myself and show you a product that I have for when the kids were younger and what I do with it now. So this is my own personal Zoli product. You can see it says Zoli. It is unbelievably well loved. My kids are now 12. I have been using this for a very long time. Look, we have Zoli with us. That's great. So I have some Zoli items with me right here in this region. Do I have the tag? I think I'm missing one. Here's my tag. Okay, good. So I have with me, this is the Powdine. This is what my kids use all the time for lunches still. And I know that a lot of people think that like Zoli is a company for younger kids. These items have lasted us for years. We actually have the Toki versions of these at home, but my kids use these now for mac and cheese and stuff. But when they were little, we certainly use them for different items. So this is one of the thermoses that they have. This is the Powdine. This is one of my faves. This is called the Sumo. So the Sumo is a 3-part, it's like a bento box. And I think we learned last time that these could be interchangeable. Remember the last time we did that? We learned some items with just me playing with some Zoli items. So this is a 3-part bento box. This one is called the Sumo. And the Sumo, hold on, let me find my notes on the Sumo to be specific. So the Sumo holds, I don't remember how much each. Let me look at the box. Guys, all hell is breaking loose. So this is 3 individual snackable containers. Does it say how many? Yes, 8 ounces each. That's what it is. It is 8 ounces each. Piece just rolled away forever. But this is definitely bigger so that when you're on the go, not only is this good for your 20s, but I find that this is good for me. Because you know when you go out with your kids, we always pack snacks for them and stuff, but what about for us? And I'm not saying like it should all be about us, but I am saying that we often forget to pack stuff for ourselves. So this is fantastic and it gives us the opportunity to pack stuff for ourselves. Okay, so those are just some of the items. We're gonna talk about more stuff as the day goes on. But I want to, first of all, we already have questions coming in. Guys, this is great. What is a good go-to on-the-go meal for 1-year-olds? Okay, so for 1-year-olds, they're still having finger foods, kind of big chunky things because you have to chew on them. Not only, wait, let me think about what we used to have at 1 year old. My kids loved pasta. They absolutely loved pasta. They liked pasta differently. So having pasta is definitely an on-the-go. Guys, for you guys that have 1-year-olds, what are some of your favorite little finger foods that you are giving your twinnies right now? Of course, I'm here. Don't worry about it. Anything smushable is really helpful. Those pouches that are either the yogurts, like they have either literal Go-Gurts by, I think, YoPlay, and then there's the Go-Go Squeeze applesauce. If you take those items and you put them inside of the freezer, and then you go to the park, by the time you're out and about, the yogurts and the applesauce or whatever you have in the pouches will defrost, but they'll also act as like a little cooling element. This might also be helpful. Remember we did that whole live feed with our stuff from Sage Spoonfuls, and they had those pouches, the refillable pouches. So those would be good to have in your lunchbox. Now, when you're buying an on-the-go lunchbox, okay, this is the Nom Nom. This is an insulated bag. This is made by Zoli. This is unbelievably washable. So what you have to do is make sure that you are buying something that is insulated, because if you don't get an insulated bag and you put in something that's cold, the condensation is going to get stuck in the bag. And here's the gross part. If you do not dry it properly, not this could easily be washable. That was my husband, by the way, going by. But this is very easily washable. But if you use a bag that's not an insulated bag, the moisture is going to get into the fabric, and then the fabric is actually going to smell super gross. So you want to make sure that when you are looking for a lunch bag, whether it's for your school-age children, for your toddlers, for any time on the go, you definitely want to make sure that you get something that's insulated, similar to this. This is the Nom Nom, like I said, and this not only is going to be good for twinnies, because it fits an immense amount of goodies in here, but you could use it for when the kids are school age. So it's funny, because what I love about Zoli and why we're talking about this today is that we have a lot of families that have older kids, and they're like, all the live feeds are about babies. Today it's not, because feeding your twins on the go, whether they're 1 year old or whether they are 15 years old, is pretty much the same. Although maybe when they're 15, you're grabbing a little bit more food on the go. But I still love a good old school picnic. So make sure that you have something like this. So we were talking about all of our great lunch ideas, but we're really, instead of talking about specific food ideas, I wanted to talk about literal things or hacks, right? So we always call them twin mom hacks of things that you could do while on the go. But before we do this, I know some of you guys have already started this, but I would like you to tell us where you're from, and I would like you guys to find a matching twinnie. So matching twinnie mom. So find a partner for today's live feed, because at the end of this live feed, we're gonna have a prize that's for both of you. Yay, I love that Zoli's on with us. It makes me so happy. So some of the things that I wanted to talk about while you are finding your partner are just when you are planning to have mealtime on the go. Sometimes it is very spur of the moment. We're outside, and if that's the case, you should always be prepared. If it is a beautiful summer day and you're like, you know what, I really don't want to go home, and I cannot tell you the countless times that I would be out with the twinnies and just say, I'm not going home again. I never want, not like ever going home again, but I really, sometimes it's so nice, and let's say they are even big enough that they could take a little nap in their carriage. If they took a nap in their stroller, I would always have food ready. Now, when you are packing your food for the go, what if, let's say, I came home, or let's say, what if I didn't end up eating it? That's why it is so important to have good containers, because we don't want that stuff to go to waste. If I just threw, some mac and cheese into a Rubbermaid container, let's say, not saying that that wouldn't work if I knew that I was going to eat it, but let's say they took a nap, and now instead of it being 10 minutes till I was going to feed them, now it's going to be an hour and a half. I don't want that food to start to get super gross. So that's why I love the items from Zoli so much. And that is genuinely the truth, as you could see by some of the old school items that I have behind me that are my own. So one is to plan ahead. And you can, if you're like actively like, I want to have a picnic today, plan the best time of day, which is usually around their nap time. And I would not recommend you go during the highest heat of the day, but if you want to, at least know where you're gonna sit, kind of under a tree or whatnot, And then you also want to check the weather, because just because it's beautiful now doesn't mean that it's going to be beautiful in an hour and a half. I know that when we go down to Florida, for all my Florida mamas that are with us today, you guys know, like, I feel like the saying should be, if you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes, because there, especially when you're by the coast, the weather changes so often that I can make like the best beach day plans, and then it rains torrentially for 25 minutes, and then everything goes back to normal. So what foods should you recommend staying away from? Okay, so we're going to talk more about tips, but we got a great question from Andrea, and she says, what foods should we stay away from? So the foods that I would recommend you stay away for when traveling outside, the number one is cheese. Cheese, I'm sorry, no matter how good of a container you have, unless you have a genuine, like you pack it correct, cheese gets sad. It gets droopy. It gets a little bit yucky. So that is one thing that I would stay away from. But in general, I would try to stay away from anything that requires utensils. So if you do mac and cheese, I'm not saying that you can't, but make sure that you have plenty of napkins, but make them finger-size pieces. Okay, maybe not mac and cheese is not the best idea, but little sandwiches, fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, anything like that. But having to deal with like an additional element of a fork or cutting or anything like that, no, I would try to stay away from that as much as possible. And now that, once again, that tip goes for toddlers and it goes for teenagers. Because does your kid really want to start breaking out a knife when you're packing them a filet mignon? Wouldn't that be funny if somebody really did that? I'm going to do that to my kids one day. I'm going to pack them like a random piece of steak and see how they not give them a knife and just see how they deal with it. Is that mean of me? Does that make me a mean mom? Yeah, but those are the things that I would stay away from. I never found that cheese worked. Anything that's super juicy doesn't work. You know what's crazy that does work? Soups. As nuts as that sounds, let's say I had soups in my little sumos, or even if I had them in here, what my kids do is my kids drink it. So of course it can't be like chicken noodle soup where it's going to be super chunky, but if you had a pureed soup like cream of broccoli or, you know, cauliflower soup, and here's a secret tip, guys. All right, this is a super secret Natalie Diaz Twiniversity tip. If you guys have little kids, get them used to having those items early on, because then it doesn't become weird later. Like if they never met cauliflower soup and then all of a sudden they're like 4 and you whip out some cauliflower soup, they're gonna be like, wow. But when they're little, you guys have the opportunity to create their flavor palettes, right? So this is the time that you could introduce them to cauliflower soup and edamame. That's a great bean, high protein, like super duper duper, packed with great everything, vitamins and such. Getting them used to having items like that makes it easier when they're older. So here's a little super crazy thing. Like for the first, I would say 5 years, my kids never had white bread. Now, I may say that my husband only eats white bread. He refuses to have whole wheat bread because he likes to make my life difficult, and I like to buy a lot of different breads. But my twinnies were always used to eating whole wheat bread. So when we went someplace that had whole wheat bread, it wasn't like they were like, oh, whole wheat bread, that's gross. They just got used to having those things. I love that you love my super secret tips. I feel every parent should do it. I didn't know. Now remember, when Twiniversity started, the kids were already in kindergarten. So anything that I had done previous to kindergarten wasn't like a hack that I read online, because the interwebs, I mean, while they were there, it wasn't like it is today where you could so easily find me and I'll be like, here's like 39 tips that are going to get you to have a better day today. But yeah, going back to the like whole wheat bread and getting them used to items. So one thing is the soups. If they're used to having broccoli soup or cauliflower soup or whatever you want, or kimchi, whatever it is that you eat in your family, if you get them used to having that while they're little, it's never weird later. I blame the school system for my children's issue with white bread. For whatever reason, when they went to kindergarten and they were having school lunch, they had white bread. And I'm like, you ruined it. I was doing so well. And that's when I was like, no, thank you, public school. It was still a public school lunch technically, but No more school lunch. I started packing our own lunches and life went back to normal. So let's talk about some other great things that you could pack when we're talking about food on the go. So this, what would I put in this? In this, I would have my favorite snack of all time, hummus. Have you guys ever made your own hummus? If you have, please tell me. If you haven't made your own hummus, all you have to do, that's funny. So see, Kristen, you know, I don't want to keep everybody happy. I just want to buy one freaking loaf of bread, for God's sake. Why does it have to be like 97 loaves of bread? Although I bet you right now, if I count the loaves of bread we have, right now I have English muffins, the whole wheat light, and the raisin, and then I have hot dog buns that are potato. Then I have ciabatta bread, some croissants, and that's it. So yes, I have 5 types of bread in my home right now. Anyway, so going back to the homemade hummus, I'd like to give you my little quick recipe, and I make a lot of my own stuff. Not because I went to culinary school, which by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, I did. What? Who knew? That's a super secret Natalie fact, is that I actually grew up being bred to work in a restaurant and then threw it all to the wind for Twiniversity, because that second heartbeat really just threw me for a loop. So anyway, what I do is I take a can of chickpeas, I drain them, but I keep the juice. I threw the chickpeas in a food processor. Jewel, if you could toss up the link to either anybody's food processor. I personally use a little mini Cuisinart that I bought on Amazon for 30 bucks. I throw that in, I throw in some lemon juice, I throw in a little garlic and a little splash of olive oil. If you are actually trying to go low fat, there's actually plenty of fat in the beans, so you don't need the olive oil. However, my Italian roots require me to put an olive oil in almost everything that I make. So I add in the olive oil and I'm done. And if I find that it's not juicy enough and I don't want to add more olive oil, I add in some of the bean juice that was in that chickpea can. I use that same exact recipe. I make cannellini bean hummus, I make black bean hummus, I make red bean hummus. So I make hummus out of everything. I put it on grilled chicken. My kids always used it as a dip when they were little because it's an extra punch of protein, right? That's all it is. It's just beans. So I would give them slices of zucchini, slices of grilled chicken. I would give them pieces of toast. I would give them little bits of crackers, Ritz crackers, whatever. But having something like that on the go is fantastic, because let's say the kids don't finish it. I'm like, I'm gonna scoop this up and just eat it. I love it. It's one of the best things that I've ever made. You could even use edamame, like I said before. It's one of the best things that I have ever made, the Twinnies, and I made it for years and years and years, and I still make it, and I made it 2 days ago because I always have it in the fridge. Also, I have been trying to watch what I eat, and I find that if there is junk around, I'm gonna eat the junk. But if I have some things that are more whole foods, more vitamin-packed foods, if they're ready, I'm gonna eat them. And the same thing goes for your kids. If you have foods prepped ahead of time, whether you're on the go or not, you could store this stuff and keep it in your fridge. All right, guys, guess what time it is? If you know what time it is, shout out what time it is. Our people from Zoli, do you guys know what time it is? Kids, come on, don't let me down. So we have something special that we are going to give away. Yes, it's this, right? That's what we're giving away. We're giving away, Julie, am I correct that we're giving this away? This is called this is called the pods. Am I mixing all my, no, this is called the on the go. I'm not crazy. So we are giving away an on the go. So if you want, look, Yvette's right on it. Good girl, I love that. So we are giving away an on the go. So this is not only snackable containers, it is a perfect formula container, because the top portion, I just pulled the top portion out. I'm going to show you how I use this. And I know, hold on. So this top piece, hold on, I got to pull it off correctly here. This top piece has a spout. So if I am going to be making formula on the go, I could pre-measure the formula. I could put it into this container, and then when I'm ready to go, I could just pour it out. Who was that? People are just showing up behind me. All right, it's like the mailman. I love this out here. So this here You see what I'm saying? It has this little twist off container. I put the formula in this top thing, and then when I'm ready for a bottle, it's already pre-measured and it's done. Now, this is what we're giving away. So if you, I love this too, Desi. This is like this is my favorite Zoli item of all time in the universe. If I'm like, there's one thing that you have to have today, I swear to you, it is this. Because this, I'm going to show you why we're using this. And it smells so nice in my house right now, thanks to this. So this is the On The Go. It is 4 different portions. It has a formula top. So if you would like to win one of these for your 20s, all you have to just say is, I want an On The Go. That's it. I want an On The Go. Just throw it out there. We'll pick a random winner, and that is what we're going to do. Now, let me show you how we use this now. So this is, like I said, it's super duper old. I have this many years. You could see the writing is left out. Could you see what I do with this now? I mean, look, it's all worn out. I use this for spices when I am on the go. So if I'm going to a timeshare, if I'm going to somebody's house, or I'm going to a hotel that I know has a kitchen. So let's say when we go to Disney, for example, I always rent something with an efficiency kitchen because I don't want to spend $9,000 on chicken fingers when I could whip up something in a kitchen. Back to the culinary school days. Of course, you do not have to go to culinary school in order to whip up stuff. But I travel a lot. I travel, and I don't usually take this when I travel for work, but when I travel and I know I'm gonna cook, so like when I come here to my family's lake house, I come out here for weeks, but I'm not about to go spend $1 billion on, you know, new spices, because spices are expensive, especially if you buy like good spices. And I mean, I do love me a dollar store spice, I do have to say, but there's things that I'm very particular about. So one thing I'm very particular about is curry powder. I like a particular curry powder, and I'm a little bit crazy about it. So what I do is before I travel, I take my Zoli container and I fill the top piece with curry powder. And then I fill the second portion with garlic powder. And then the third portion with onion flakes, and the third portion with chili powder. These 4 spices get me a million meals. I love a good curry. My kids love a good curry. I love to make Indian food. It's one of my faves. I also, if you guys ever heard of something, I think it's called chicken Diane or chicken Divan or something like that, that requires curry powder. So I use that. The garlic, hello, I'm Italian. So the garlic powder, I have to give you a secret trick. I have never once made a meatball ever in my life without garlic powder. Whenever I make it with fresh garlic, the kids hate it. Don't know why. So my secret meatball recipe is garlic powder, eggs. I don't put in cheese because I'll add it on top and I don't want to do anything. And then, as we were discussing our crazy bread obsession, whatever bread I have left in the house, that is a great mealtime on-the-go recipe, is meatballs. I could certainly put it together for you, but I always use garlic powder. I use the onion flakes when I make chili instead of chopping onion. And let's say when I go to Disney, I don't want to start buying fresh produce, but I want to make something great. You could use the onion flakes instead of real onion. I sometimes put them in eggs. I even have known to put the curry on eggs, I have to say. And then of course the chili powder. The chili powder, you could throw the chili powder even in the hummus if you wanted to kick it up a notch, as Emerald Lagasse would say. But I love having my on-the-go Zoli container. It really travels well. It has never leaked, so the powders have never come out. I don't smell the stuff. Like, that's a big deal. And that's how you know that a container is made well. If I could have curry powder in here and pack it with my clothing, if this was another container, it would come out smelling like curry. This has never once happened. I have refilled this, I'm gonna say at least 2 or 3 dozen times in my kids' lives. So yeah, I really love this container, and I want you guys to love it too. And you guys know I'm very like cautious about the products that I recommend to you, because I always think, like, what if the person was watching literally only had $20 left to spend? What should they spend it on? So when I recommend a product, I always think, like, is this worth your last 20 bucks? And I am going to tell you, I do think that on the go is, because you're going to use it for the next 15 years. You could use it for anything. I have friends that put their jewelry in this when they travel because look, I'm in the baby biz, right? When we go to these trade shows, we go and I'm often with a lot of different people that do similar things to what I'm doing except in the singleton world. So I've seen people put earrings, put necklaces, put regular rings, and then any little like a bobby pins fit in this. So you could do that as well. This is not limited to food. You could use this for years to come. Zoli, I don't even know if you guys know that we do this, but when you guys give us samples, we use them forever. And it's sometimes like things take in our lives. You ever have that something just becomes part of your life? That's become part of our life. So let's go back to Mealtime on the Go. We gave away a prize. I would love to give away another prize if that is okay with Julie. I would love to give a copy of my book away. So if you do not have a copy of What to Do When You Are Having Two, if your kids are under 6 months old or even under a year, I'm going to say, I would love to send you a copy. I could send it to you myself. I could autograph it, do whatever you'd like. But yeah, or even if you want that, if you had a neighbor that was expecting twins, just say, I want a book. Throw it out there, and please, 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 we would love to give you a copy because there is an entire section on the book with. I'm sorry, my phone is blowing up, yo, as the kids would say. Okay, so the other things that I wanted to tell you about Mealtime on the Go, we talked about planning ahead. We talked about having different dips. I also want to talk about packing good stuff. A lot of people pack like a set meal and they're like, okay, we're going to have crackers and we're going to have hummus. And you got to find the balance between packing too much and packing too little. I would rather you pack a little bit too much because I have always loved to share. So we would be at the picnic and we would be at the park and then we'd have our impromptu picnic because I had all of my snackies with me. When I packed extra, the kids that the kids were playing with, we could say, hey, why don't you join us? So if I just had packed enough for my twinnies, then we would have missed out on a lot of good friendships. And we made a lot of good friends by breaking bread at the playground. Of course, we never literally broke bread, but we'd share grapes and we'd share strawberries. And I always brought a little extra. In theory, I brought the extra for myself and I'd be like, oh, I could, while they're on the monkey bars for the 97th time today, I am going to snack on this. Hi, Kimberly. So bring a little bit extra, pack a little bit more than you need to, but don't go crazy because you don't want to come home and start cleaning up a billion things. The next thing that I don't want you to forget is to pack a garbage bag. When you do have fantastic containers like this, there really is no waste. So you don't have the Ziploc bags to throw your garbage in and stuff. Please make sure that you pack a garbage bag because even like those banana peels, you don't want to just throw them in the bottom of your diaper bag. It's going to get super duper duper grossy town. So please don't do that. Okay. The next thing I wanted to remind you is to stay hydrated. Now, Zoli does have some fantastic, this is called the Pal Squeak. They have a lot of different containers. We do use the Toki ones as well as what the Twinnies use every day. So this is an insulated container, so it will keep the cold stuff cold. When the kids are little, you could start using this, I would say by like 7 months because they should learn how to drink out of a straw pretty quickly. Not saying it's going to work 100% of the time, but I love the way that this straw is angled. It just makes it easier for the little ones to drink out of. And my favorite part, of course, is this top. A lot of times there's tops that go on top of it. I lose those all of the time. But this one is attached with a quick flick of a button. Your puppies could have their little beverage. Here's why it's awesome. Okay, number one, fine motor skills, kids. You know me, always thinking, so fine motor skills, they learn how to kind of push this button in. Another thing, cause and effect. I push the button, the top comes out. All right, next thing, it is definitely really, really sweet. This little silicone straw, you could see, I'm super into it. I love this stuff, I really do. I love all Zoli stuff. You guys know that, love them. All right, so we got that. So I wanted to remind you to stay hydrated because a lot of people often will pack what the kids want to drink. So let's say like your kids right now are like super into pear juice or cherry juice or they're drinking something. Please don't ever forget to pack water. not only do you need water for you, but you need water for the puppies as well. I wouldn't pack water in this, I would pack water in something that could come out quicker, because not only could we use the water to drink, but also we are going to use the water to clean ourselves. Now, another thing that I forgot to tell you about this, could you guys see that? When you close the top, there's a little wedge here, and what the wedge does is it pushes the straw down so that it can never leak. Come on, that's not genius? I just want to do this all day. Is that okay? All right. Okay. All right, Jewel, go for it. All right. So the next thing, so we talked about staying hydrated. I also want you to bring a few things with you. Now, here's a great twin trick, okay? Well, just like a twin mom hack that I've often done. If you are going to go to the playground and you are going to be sitting on concrete, you may find that there are a lot of ants around. Pack a piece of chalk. What is Natalie talking about? Have your kids draw a circle around where you are going to have this picnic so they could play with the chalk. The chalk is super fun. They could do whatever they want. But if you make a circle around the area where you are going to have your picnic, did you know that ants will not cross that chalk line? So you could just get rid of the ants that are in your little circle, but you would never have to worry about ants crawling on top of your strawberries, on top into the hummus and stuff. So yeah, and Danielle, so many people don't know this, and look, you can see when I get excited about something. We do this all the time, and I did not know that this was like something that people do. We just did it because the kids would always play with the chalk, and we would buy like the big boxes of chalk, and we could just draw a circle. I have the kids draw a circle. I have the kids draw, any shapes and colors and whatever they want. But if they draw it around the area where we're sitting in, ants never come in and ants never eat our food. I'm telling you, I know. Zoli, it's crazy. My mind is blown too. It works also if you have an ant problem in your home. If you find where the ants are coming in, you could take chalk and just make a line. They won't cross it. I swear to you. Just go outside with the kids and just play a game called Find an Ant, and then draw a box around him. He's going to freak out. That might be a little mean. I don't know of how passionate you feel about ants' emotional security, but you'll see that it totally works. So that's crazy. It's a Nat's life hack, as Julie calls it, right? Because I have all these little things that I do, and I never really know that there's something that people like you guys don't know. I'm like, doesn't everybody draw a circle around your picnic time? I just know that we always draw a circle around our picnic time. All right, so let's talk about, what else do I want to talk about today? Oh, baby powder. Of course, you guys know that if you're going to have a picnic at the beach, you bring baby powder with you. Baby powder is your best friend when you're trying to get sand off your feet or your hands or your clothes or whatever. If you sprinkle baby powder on any area that has sand on it, including their little nether regions, because you could just, like my son always has an issue because he likes to sit in the surf and it gets him and he's like, ah! After everybody is on the drier side, just toss a little baby powder on and it comes right out. Yeah, ants do work very hard, but they won't cross the picket line of the chalk. All right. Next thing that I want to tell you about when you are traveling outside is, if possible, try to have your picnic close, but not too close to a public restroom. So I know that when we go to our backyard in New York City, our backyard is what I'd like to call Central Park. So in Central Park, there are not a million, restrooms. So find where the restrooms are, and the restrooms may not even be like public restrooms. They may be a gym, they may be a deli that always lets you use the bathrooms. It could be a Starbucks, it could be a McDonald's. It could be any public place that does allow you to use the restrooms. I have 2 Nat's hack bathroom places. Okay, you ready? Number 1, gyms. So if there's like a sports club or a Pilates place or something like that, I find that those people are so sweet, and I just run in with my double stroller and I'm like, hey guys, could I use the bathroom? I have never once had a gym tell me no. Restaurants have told me no multiple times, or they're like, you need, hold on, I'll tell you in a second about the sound. You need to, make a purchase or whatever. But in gyms, you can't make a purchase because I'm not like, oh, let me have a, 9-month membership for my infants. So they've been really good. And the other place is, and this is wherever you're traveling, it's not a Nat's hack. It's just something that we've always done. I don't know if it's just a New York thing, but if you ever need to use a bathroom and you're in a walking city, hotels always have bathrooms in the lobby because people check in and they go. I just walk into a hotel lobby and use the bathroom. I don't know technically if you're allowed to do this or if it's really only for guests. I have never once ever been stopped. And I go to I would go literally, I'm not kidding you. When we go to Central Park, I will go to the Plaza Hotel and use the public bathroom. My favorite public bathroom in Manhattan is the Marriott Marquis in Times Square because we take the elevator that goes all the way to the rooftop bar. We get out, we use the bathroom in the rooftop bar, and the whole top of the building rotates. So me and the Twinnies kind of just stand still and we watch the city rotate, and then we go back down to Times Square. But no matter where you are, using a restroom at a hotel is always good. Even if you're on the road, if you have like a major diaper explosion, just take the babies out. No hotel is going to tell you no. And I think it probably is one of those things like you have to make a purchase. What purchase am I going to make? I'm like in an emergency situation here, right? So that is something that I wanted to tell you. All right, so to sum up our time for today, because we do have to sum it up. Laura is now our wizard behind the curtain at Oz. We're gonna give away another On the Go. So if you would like to win prize time, first of all, you know I love when you say prize time because that just makes me happy. But we are going to give away another On the Go. So if you would like to win an On the Go for you and your Twinnies, just say, we want an On the Go. Laura is now going to pick a winner and she will reach out to you and let you know who won and give us the information. So if you want to win another On the Go and want to have a fantastic container that's going to last you 20 years, I'm going to say at minimum. And by the way, this has been washed. I can't even tell you how many times. Yeah, it's a lot. So if you want to win, just say we want an On the Go and I want you guys to have that. So I do want to sum up kind of some things that we talked about today. Some other things that I want you to have on before we sum it up is if you are going to be having a lot of meal times, it is not a bad idea to have a few extra condiments on you. So little packs of mustard, little packs of mayo, little packs of ketchup, little packs of relish. When you go into a store, and if you're going into a deli, or even if you're going into a 7-Eleven, by the way, Zoli, I think I just gave away the wrong prize. So if you want to give away an On the Go, but we were giving away a sumo. So that was this guy, right? This was the sumo. I keep losing my boxes. Yes, this is the sumo. This is the prize that we're going to be giving away. Guys, are you going to be mad at me? Don't be mad at me. I just had 2 On the Go's. If you would like to win a sumo, this has another piece that rolled underneath the bed. I am not kidding you. So if you want a sumo, now just say we want a sumo. Laura, pick 2 winners anyway, one for the On the Go and one for the sumo. I will buy you guys the On the Go because that was totally my fault. So if you want a sumo, say I want a sumo. If you want an On the Go, say I want an On the Go. If you want both, make sure you say it twice so then we know. And the reason why we do that is because not everybody wants a container of this size and not everybody wants a container of this size. So we want to make sure that if we're picking winners that it's something that you actually want. All right. So this is the sumo, like I said. It is a holdable container, 3 pieces. I think 1 for you, 1 for baby A, 1 for baby B. They all screw in absolutely. This is the 8-ounce cup. This is great for noodles. This could be good for soups too. This is good for chips and dip and maybe some veggies. I love this. I'm making this so complicated. I don't know why. It's not at all difficult to screw in. I just like to make things complicated for myself. So to sum up, what we talked about today is if you are going to have mealtime on the go, you want to plan ahead. What time are you going? Do it around nap time and don't forget to check the weather. Dips are fantastic on the go for your containers like the sumo or even our insulated containers. This is fantastic for our soups, as we said, but pack some dips. Those are always good. You want to pack good stuff and you want to pack enough of it that if you'd like to share, it's a great way to make some friends by saying, hey, Could we give you a piece of watermelon or interest you? That's the word I was looking for. Can we interest you in a piece of watermelon? Don't forget to pack your garbage bags. Make sure that you stay hydrated, so pack water. Even if your babies are drinking other things like formula, make sure you have water for yourself. The next thing I want to say is bring the baby powder for the beach. Laura, we have more prizes. Laura, respond if this is what we're giving away next. Oh my God, guys. They're allowing us to give away 2 nom-noms, so this is what we're going to do. Remember in the beginning of this feed, I told you to find a partner. This is what you will both win. So you and your partner are going to win the nom-noms, which, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, has 2 side pockets for beverages. So this could be, hold on, I have to do this. Okay? It has 2 side pockets for beverages, so you could put 2 baby bottles and then additional snacks. You could put 2 sippy cups in addition to snacks. So if you and your partner would like to win a nom nom, all you have to do is you have to say nom nom and tag your partner. So tag your partner, just put her name next to it, put your name or his name. I shouldn't have said her name, but everybody who's there, if you found a partner and you guys are still on, even if only one portion of your partnership is there, please say that you want a nom nom and tag your partner, and that way you guys could both get it. Because how awesome is that going to be if you are both out and you have little nom noms? Also, did you guys notice that this has a clip? So you could put this on the back of a backpack, or you could put this over your stroller handle, or you could attach this to your diaper bag as an additional outside thing. But I love this. Britt is your partner. I think that's super sweet. I love when you guys have partners. You have a little pocket back here. What do you think I would put in this pocket? Because I'm super neurotic, guys. You know this about me. First aid kit. Don't forget your first aid kit. Whenever you are traveling, bring a first aid kit no matter what, okay? So you guys will win 2 nom-noms. We're talking about our tips. We're summing it up. So bring wet washcloths is another great tip to clean up really easily. Make a chalk circle around your picnic area. Bring food that does not need forks. Pre-cut as much stuff as possible, or prep in any way. So if you're bringing oranges, peel your oranges ahead of time. If you're bringing a veggie like zucchini and the kids don't like the skin, cut that off ahead of time. We're like super in zucchini town, by the way. I've mentioned it like 5 times. We've eaten so many zucchinis, I can't even begin to tell you. Frozen yogurts or frozen applesauces are not only a fantastic snack, but act as an insulation, like a cooler thingy. If you put them in the freezer the night before your picnic, I actually, when I get home, I put them all in the freezer. I actually put any yogurt that doesn't need to be mixed into the freezer. So we buy like the Chobani vanilla yogurts. My kids love those. So those we put right into the freezer, and my kids peel off the top and they eat it like ice cream. We're still doing that. They've been eating frozen yogurt from back in the day. It's something that's still a part of their world now. So the next thing is stay near a public restroom. Don't forget napkins or baby wipes or anything of that sort. And those are the tips that I am going to give you. Oh, don't forget your camera, and don't forget to take pictures. I regret so many times that we did something fantastic and I did not take a picture. I know, I want you to live in the moment. I want you to be present. I want you to experience it in the now. But please do not be me and then realize that you didn't take a picture for a month. If your kids are 1 day old or 100 years old, I don't care. Try to take pictures. I am absolutely the worst at this. You could tell by my Instagram feed. And so not only I'm at Twiniversity, of course, but I'm also at Nat's Real World is my Instagram account, and you could see I am not so good at remembering to take pictures of stuff. I really want to, I wanted to post a picture yesterday, but I hadn't taken a picture in like a week. So please don't do that. Make sure you take a picture today, and please, 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 please take a picture with the kids. All of you, family selfie time, click, click. And you guys know, if you have an iPhone, you don't have to hit the shutter button on the screen. You could just hit the volume up button and that will take the picture as well. So you don't even have to worry about holding the camera and how am I gonna do this? Just use the volume up button and it's gonna use it. It's gonna be a shutter for you too. It's gonna take it. So those are my quick tips. Thank you so much. I really mean it. Thank you so much to our friends at Zoli. They have been a part of the Diaz family for a very long time, and I am honored and humbled that they are a part of our Twiniversity family now. They are a genuine twin mom favorite. They're really, I mean, I can't tell you. Like I said, if there's something that you're going to get, really look into products from Zoli. They wash fantastically. They keep the food super warm or super cold, whatever it is. They don't leak. They last, we're going into our second school year with the Toki Dines that we had from last year. I don't know if you guys want to look back into the live feeds, but Zoli sends me these great products to show you guys today. And the funny part is whenever we do a live feed, I'm like, hey, could you send me more products? Because I just love them so much. So this is the way that I get stuff from Zoli. Thank you guys. But I love it. We're going to be using these again this school year. We're actually going to be using the Nom Nom. Red is going to be using the Nom Nom. So she was the one who wanted this because not only does she like to take lunch stuff, but she also likes to take stickers and art supplies with her because their lunchtime she likes to do a little bit extra. So that is what she is going to do. But thank you so much to our friends at Zoli. We're going to throw up some links so that you could buy the stuff. It is available everywhere. You could buy it on their website. You could buy it, I think we could buy it on Amazon. But I would go check out their website. It's fantastic. You could find everything there. I cannot recommend it enough. And I thank you, my favorite Twiniversity watchers, for joining us today. Now, for you guys that are on today, I'm going to give you guys a little secret heads up about something for tomorrow. Do you guys want to know a secret? Like it's genuinely a secret. Like nobody knows this and nobody's going to know this. You're going to know it because you're here. So if you would like to know a secret, I would like some thumbs up. I want some kind of interaction knowing that. Zoli, do you want to know my secret too? Because you guys could know. So if you want to know my super secret, something is happening tomorrow. Alfredo wants to know. Marnie wants to know. Something is happening tomorrow that has never happened in Twiniversity's history before. Are you guys ready? I'm so excited. I feel like, do I tell you? Do I not tell you? Tomorrow at 1 p.m., I will be live on somebody else's channel. I haven't done a live feed from somebody else's channel. So I am leaving here. I am heading into Manhattan. And does anybody want to take a guess for who I'm going to be doing a live feed for? Just for funsies. It's not somebody that we have ever talked about on Twiniversity. Oh, also, Laura just reminded me, don't forget, we have the Zoli giveaway that's live right now. Laura's going to put a link to it after this live feed. Make sure you go and enter because then it's like another chance to enter. Okay, so I'm going in to the city tomorrow and I'm going to be doing a live feed for a tiny little company called Zulily. So there's going to be something super crazy happening at Zulily tomorrow that is just for us. No, Beth, not yet. Don't make me too excited. I would love to, but no. So tomorrow I am heading into Manhattan. I am going to do a 1 p.m. live feed from the Zulily office in New York City. There is something very special happening for twin parents. I will jump on the Twiniversity feed right before that happens so that you guys know. But I am telling you, do not miss it. Okay? That's it. So for my 50 plus families that have hung on this long for the entire live feed, yeah, don't miss it. Tanya, you're going to go crazy. I'm telling you, it is really a very special event. I am really excited. I'm honored. They have millions and millions and millions of people on their Facebook page, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to kick it live and not embarrass myself. And I don't know, it's weird because I'm so used to doing stuff with us, right? Like it's just us. Like when I do a live feed on Twiniversity, I know like you guys, it's like my family. But there it's like, do I have to dress fancy? Do I have to do something different with my hair and my makeup? What am I going to do? This morning, I dyed my hair and I could not get it off my skin. And I learned that baking powder and dish soap get hair dye right off your face. Who knew? So tomorrow, please stay tuned to Twiniversity and then jump over to Zulily. I'm excited. I know that Zoli's going to be super excited for me because, I mean, hey, Maybe we'll see some Zoli stuff on Zulily. I'll see what I can do because I want you guys to get Zoli stuff no matter what. All right, kids, I love you. Have the best day ever. I'm going to go spend some magical time with my twinnies, and then I will spend the rest of the day absolutely obsessing about what shirt I am going to wear tomorrow and freaking out. Because with us, I wear this beautiful shirt that I bought from Walmart. Not kidding, by the way. I love it. $11. It's awesome. That's how I roll. And these earrings, by the way, where did I get these earrings? I got these earrings someplace. I got them from this place called Macy's Backstage. I didn't even know Macy's had a store like that. So I got them there. I think they were $2.50. That's how I roll, kids. I would rather spend money on quality products like Zoli instead of earrings that I will definitely lose one of before the week's end. All right, kids, have the best day ever. Thank you very much to Zoli. And please make sure that you jump over to Zoli's Facebook page and just thank them for giving us so many great prizes today. See you later, alligators. See you tomorrow.